Happy Saturday morning. I picked up a couple different buys and eBay purchases and things like that I wanted to do a show on. It's a little bit of stuff, so I may have to break it into two videos. I'm going to grab the camera real quick from here. There's about 3 boxes plus a bunch of toys, which I'm not sure I'll get into. Um, Toys and statues. There was a gentleman who I met up with, went to his house, and he said he had about 70 boxes of product. And really, what he had was like a house, just like a hoarder's house, like just every room that had comics piled up or toys piled up, or from the kitchen to the hall to the bedrooms, just stuff. So I'm actually going to be going back to do another walkthrough through it. But I was pretty happy with the comics and just the chance to get toys and stuff. I haven't had statues and stuff by for a while, and those of you who've watched me before know that I'm into Aquaman stuff. So I found a pretty cool Aquaman statue, this goofy little Aquaman guy, these two extremely happy Aquaman figures. So there's stuff everywhere here. But let's start popping through this real quick. Also, I did do an eBay purchase for myself recently. I bought Jimmy Olsen here, the 134, the first cameo of Darkseid. I kind of just jumped on the bandwagon with this book. I can't say I really personally wanted it, but it's pretty much inevitable that Darkseid will be in a movie at some point as the Justice League villain. I mean, in hero movies, there's only two kinds of villains. There's the massive, bulky villain like Thanos that the whole team goes up against, or the swarm type villains, which is like the two Avengers movies we just saw back to back were just a swarm. You had the aliens in the first movie, and then you had the Ultron in the second movie. And I think with DC's rush to beat Marvel or catch up with Marvel in the movie cinematic universe, I think they're going to try to get Darkseid out before Marvel gets Thanos out. The one thing I find kind of funny about this book is people seem to gravitate to this one more so than the Forever People one. And I got a theory on that I'll show later as we go through the video. So anyway, pick that up. Then in this particular buy, there was a Rye Zero, it's first Bloodshot. X-Men 221, it's Mr. Sinister's first appearance. Couple legends there. First appearance of the Modern Suicide Squad. Anyone who's trying to get anything for the movie, this would be probably a good book to pick up ahead of time. Omega Men 3, it's first Lobo. Justice League Annual 2, it's the first appearance of this flamboyant individual Vibe here, which is Cisco on the Flash show should eventually be this character, so might be a good book to get. Not a very expensive book, but just something that if you're thinking about down the road, it might be something you want. Anyway, there was a few copies of that. Got a Batman 357, Jason Todd and Killer Croc appearance, I believe. Just a Campbell cover, nothing significant, but Campbell covers are just generally cool. 606 of Spider-Man, Spider-Man 700, Detective Comics 1 from the New 52 line, basically the new first appearance of Batman for this line. All right, hold on, let's grab a box. We'll start. See what we got. I'm just going to show this too. This actually wasn't from this guy's house. In that large buy I did in the garage a long time ago and then moved to the storage unit, I reboxed everything, and as I was digging through the boxes again, I found this. Somehow I missed it first time through, but there was, I think I actually had another one, but there's 5 copies of 128 Demon in a Bottle, the alcoholism issue of Iron Man. All right, so this was again from the house full of stuff. And as I was going through stuff, it was not in any order. You'd find like a Titan over here, an X-Men over there, et cetera, et cetera. And as I kept going, I'd find a Batman Adventures 9, a Batman Adventures 13, a Batman Adventures 11, but never found a 12. I'm sure it's still in there somewhere. So there's Titans 44, First Nightwing. There are a couple copies of that. This book, always happy to find. Love getting it. Just love this book. Titans 2, First Deathstroke. I actually like finding this book in the second print more than I enjoy finding it in the first print. But another book I just like getting. There's a newsstand one. It's First Appearance of Carnage, 361. This is the second printing. This is the first print. First Appearance of Hellboy, X-Men 21. And this I was surprised. Really clean shape. It's a third print of Hulk 377. I've talked about this in the video before, but those of you who don't know, Hulk 377 in first print is pretty much a $2 book or a $1 book. This one has value to it due to its scarcity in printing. So if you guys find this out there in the wild, I mean, just look the color. You'll notice between the other printings, the color background's different. And you can, again, tell printings by looking at the last digit here. It's a third print. You can see the 3. But I would suggest picking this up anytime you're finding it. It's nothing significant about it, just a rare production run. Got a Batman 1 from the DC 52 line. It's a good book to have. The story's still going, and Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, a great team on it. Got a X-Men 266, Gambit. New Mutants 98. Actually found 2 of those there. They're both really clean. Never a bad book to pick up. New Mutants 87. First Cable. Believe it or not, I don't actually have this in my collection, so happy to actually snag that and stick it in there. And I'm actually really happy with these because I think these are cleaner than the ones I have. It's the first appearance of Psylocke. New Mutants Annual 2. This is what I wanted to go back to when we're talking about the Jimmy Olsen Darkseid appearance. It seems like people are gravitating to that more than the Forever People one. And people don't normally care about the cameo books. No one really is seeking Hulk 180. They're seeking Hulk 181 with Wolverine on the cover. It's the same thing with this stuff. This is the first appearance of the Taskmaster, last page panel, 195 Avengers. But no one really cares about this. They care about 196. Here's Taskmaster. Boom, he's on the cover. Here's a 181 for Scott Lang. And then let me get back to that Darkseid thing again. So here's first Archangel, X Factor 94. And this is exactly what I'm talking about again. So here's X Factor 5, first appearance of Apocalypse, last panel. No one really cares. Here's Apocalypse on the cover, full appearance, number 6. So I don't know what makes the Darkseid book or the Jimmy Olsen desirable to have the cameo this time as opposed to the full. What I'm kind of thinking is on all these other books, the Hulk 181, especially that kind of set the precedent, is the cover appearance. Since neither the Forever People or the Jimmy Olsen 134 have Darkseid on the cover, people want the first appearance. Like, okay, he really appears in 134 of Jimmy Olsen, so we want that. But if he was on the cover of Forever People, I guarantee you that Jimmy Olsen would be like, bleh, and people would just go like, I want the first full appearance all of a sudden. So I think these cover images, like we saw with Taskmaster and Wolverine and this, I think that'll switch where people want full or cameo. Just my thoughts. Anyone want to chime in on that? I'd be happy to hear your thoughts on it as well. This was actually in that older buy where I got the Tales of Astonished 27. I just didn't notice these before. It's Showcase 75, First Hawk and Dove, and there was also a Showcase 73, First Creeper. So I figured I'd throw them into this video. This was actually a separate buy too. I just only got one comic, but it was this Birds of Prey 8. It's just kind of a sought after issue. At least it was a few years ago. I don't know if it has retained any heat, whatever. It's just a Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon story. So there's those. me a run of some X-Men. There was no 94. There was no giant size. Okay? There was a 95 in very shoddy shape. But the run's pretty consistent. It was a 97, a 98, a 99, a 100, 101, which is the first Phoenix, 102, 105, 107. Again, this one's bleh. 109, 111, 112, 113, 114. I wonder when people watch these videos that are like knowledgeable on this stuff, if you guys just get to this and like, we know what we're going to see. We'll skip over the X-Men part, get to the next part. But for those of you who aren't, I mean, it's a great run of X-Men. John Byrne art on a lot of them coming up, and this is beautiful. 116, 117, 118, 119, 121, Top Flight, 122, 124, 125, 126. Let me move this stuff out of my hands real quick. All right, 127, 128. Here we go. It's getting the good ones. 129, the first Kitty Pryde, I believe. Also John Byrne stuff. It's good. 130, first Dazzler. 131, first White Queen. 132, 133, nothing about it. Just beautiful. Love this cover. This is like one of the things that just made me love comics growing up. 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, 139. Kitty Pryde's joining the team there. 140, Wendigo. And my all-time favorite covers. 141, 142. This is actually a really good cover too. 143. 244, jumping way ahead here. First Jubilee appearance. 248, first time Jim Lee was on X-Men. There's a second print, the gold cover. They used to do that. You know, they have a Cable, or New Mutants 87 also has a gold cover. Bishop's first appearance also has a gold cover second. This book here, this Chromium book, reprints X-Men 140 and 141. It's got modern day John Byrne art, not as cool to me as his original stuff, but neat Chromium wraparound cover. An annual 14, it's the first cameo of Gambit. All right. You guys still with me? A smidge of just beautiful cover art here. A bunch of Wonder Womans. Adam Hughes art. There's number 140, 141, 142, 154, 157. I didn't have any of these in my collection, so I'm happy to have stumbled on this. 159, 160, 161. It's beautiful. 166. I like the ones that have the Batman on the cover too. 170. Interviewed with Lois Lane. 173 in her Kingdom Come armor. 176. 177. 178. Really like this cover. 184. 186 with the other Wonder Girls cover there. Flash cover there. 197. No longer Adam Hughes, but still good artwork here. 202. 203. 205 with the Joker dressed up as Wonder Woman. Kind of goofy. All right, what kind of time are we at here? Yeah. Maybe I'll break it into two videos. A little bit more in this box here. Got some Death of Supermans. 3 of those puppies. This book, if you do not know, is the first Harlequin in actual continuity, not just the self-contained story and the one-shot. It's Batman 570. So if you're following Harlequin stuff, probably something to pick up. This book I was happy to get. I've never had it. Adam Hughes cover, beautiful, and it's got like the significance is that's the number from the Lost hatch in the TV show Lost, previously on Lost. Actually never had this book, but was able to pick this up. The first appearance of the Hawk Girl or Hawk Woman that's going to be in the Warner Brothers shows. Planet Hulk run here, got number 92, which is the first part of the run. The rest, I think I have another box. This Wonder Woman cover people are kind of sought after. Is again nothing about it. I know they made a statue of this at one time. It's number 72. Brian Bolland cover. I'm not actually sure why this one gets so much hype. Brian Bolland was doing pretty much the covers for all the Wonder Woman at this time, but it is a very iconic looking pose for her. Spider-Man 569. I think it's the first Anti-Venom. Got a Hulk 1 for the whatever series it is where it was red. It's a variant cover one. Looks like it was from Los Angeles something, maybe Wizard World. I'm not sure what convention this was at. Alpha Flight 9 just has a homage to X-Men 141, so took it for my collection. Got some more Infinity War action for the upcoming Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War movie. And again, some more Infinity Gauntlets, just number 1, 2. And anyone who's interested in these books should probably pick this up prior to getting closer to the Infinity movie. Because I have a feeling they're going to jump from being accessible to unaccessible. Killing Joke. It's the first print. You can tell by the green color here. Titans 1. X-Force 11. This is another book that's cheap. It's probably $1 or $2 out there in the wild, but I think this Domino is going to be appearing in the Deadpool movie, which will probably change the value of this if you guys care. I'm speculating, so don't quote me if you buy these for $1 and you're at $1 and you're sad later. You know. I got some first appearances of Doomsday. This book must have been printed by the gazillions because I honestly think I've got like 50 copies of this thing. But there they are. I can't pass them up when I find them. All right. I'm just going to continue on rambling. If you want to stop the video and come back to it later, that's cool. I'll never know. So, I got a box here. It's got some older Batmans and stuff in it too, but this is Live Wire, her first appearance in continuity. It's 835. Lightning will probably like this. It's got a bunch of Legion of Superhero appearances here. I'm not really into the Legion, but for some reason this smattering of old books was just mixed in with this other stuff, so who could say no to 12-cent books? It's all Legion based apparently in these adventure comics. Look at this dinosaur's teeth. They're green. They ran out of good colors for this guy. I don't know. Archer and Armstrong 1. Like I said, picked up some Batmans. Next time I go, I'm going to grab just the rest of the Batmans. But this is got a Joker cover, obviously. It's 286. Here's Croc on the cover here. 359. Sorry about that. It's got a bunch of other villains. Man-Bat cover. 361. The Riddler. 362. Surprisingly, most Batman books don't have major villains on the cover. It seems they always have, like, thugs and whatnot. So it's like some of these older ones are kind of neat when they got more predominant appearances. I know this one's kind of sought after sometimes too. 366. There's a Return of Deadshot there. 369. Scarecrow cover. 373. A couple 400s. Bill Sienkiewicz cover. Is that right? Yeah. Sienkiewicz. Batman Year One, which is number 404, 405, 406, 407. Almost 2 sets of that were there. Side. All right, 10 Nights of the Beast storyline, 417. Just beautiful Mike Zeck covers, 418. I don't know why I grabbed that. 421. The McFarlane covers and the, man, I forget the villain's name. Looked kind of like the Phantasm. 223. Death in the Family, Magnolia covers, 226. 27. Love this cover. 228. These ones are super minty fresh. Beautiful books. 29. Got the run of Jim Lee Hush, but some of it I put in another pile. But anyway, this is the book if you've not read, you should pick up. 1, just for the art. 2, it actually is pretty well written storyline. Early appearance of Damien. Just took it for the Alex Ross cover. Grabbed a bunch of the DC Marvel crossovers that you just don't see anymore. It's a Batman Captain America. Got the Dark Knight Returns. All right. Whoop. Almost. Detective 525. I think it's first Killer Croc on the cover, maybe. I just thought this cover was kind of cool. 526. A Joker cover that I've seen in other videos on eBay, or not on eBay, bleh, on YouTube here, but never had it myself. 540. Thought this one was kind of cool with Catwoman and Black Canary and Arrow on it. 569. The Thinker. Yeah, Two-Face. There's that cover. I've seen this one on YouTube too. I haven't had it. 566. 567. Yeah, bird cover. These books are great. These Alan Davis ones. I'm a big fan of Alan Davis too. So 573. 574. There's the continuing McFarlane covers. These are really beautiful covers too. First appearance of the ventriloquist in 583. First appearance of the Zax guy that cuts his arms and stuff. Shadow the Bat 1. Early Harlequin appearance in Catwoman 83. 84. Just another beautiful Catwoman Adam Hughes cover with the Kana there poster. Really like this cover. Great way to implement the two characters without having just to draw them there. Got some Civil War. Just going to kind of hurry through this. Picked up these Psylocke appearances here. Crimson Dawn, 1, 3. I guess I missed a 2. Eternal Warrior 1. Hawk and Dove with the new Dawn Granger, number 1. The rest of the Planet Hulk run. Again, just kind of speculative books in case there's a Planet Hulk movie at some point. It actually is a pretty decent story. Good cover art, though. So there's the rest of that run. And it led into World War Hulk, and I thought that was a good story, too. Pretty chunky run that he was floating around there. This book I don't remember seeing in people's videos or not, but just thought it was kind of neat. It's a Brian Boland cover. It says Joker Last Laugh. It's a 1 of 6. Not really even familiar with it. Just thought it's kind of neat. It's bouncing the DC logo up and down. So those of you who are into Joker covers, Brian Boland is a pretty good Joker. I'm not sure if I'm right, but this might be the first Kamala Khan. I know it's been in other videos, the Marvel Point 1, but I kind of remember the cover looking different in other people's posts or on YouTube about it, so I'd have to double check. That's why I grabbed it, though. Nightwing 4 for the DC-52 is one of the more difficult DC-52 titles to get due to the production on them. There just wasn't a lot of those printed comparatively. This is getting some hype, the Psylocke story. 1 of 4. I think that's all I found was the first one. First Stephanie Brown there. Robin 126. She's got a Suicide Squad 1 for the heck of it. Another one. And out of all the Suicide Squads, this is a good cover to Snake because it's got Deadshot right on it. Oracle appearances here in 23. And Killing Joke flashback type covers here in 48 and 49. Suicide Squad 6 from the DC-52. It's the origin of Harlequin. I pick this book up every time I find it. It's just a cheapy little book, but it's got a cool cover with Joker. Had to get this because of the windows I got at the shop, the Jim Lee images. And I got a statue for the Batman, but unfortunately I didn't have a Superman. I would have put those side by side too. Another Joker cover. First Omega Red. Pretty easy book to pick up, but still, I think a decent first appearance. X-Men 205, first Hope Summers. I don't know why I snagged these, just had Psylocke on them. And it does have Captain Britain, so they're kind of cool. Called Die by the Sword. It was a 5-issue series.